place in less than a day. That is a fast descent, I would say, in the standings, just how they were fast ascending it in the mountain. Next game of the day, enough with this mood. Next day of the day is going to be Vanir versus Bifrost. There's a lot to talk about this one. Bifrost is a team that is locked in playoffs right now in 6th place. So this means they could be one of those teams being picked by the top 3, or even the remaining team going for the 4th place, and then Vanir with some changes as well. Now it's on you, okay? I need you to talk about it, obvious. What can we expect from this game?
In this frame, I'm really expecting Bifrost to keep showing their versatility. Like, I feel like they have one of the better chances in the playoffs of being one of those teams and going into best of 5 that have a lot of different ways they can approach it. That's what their lineup looks like to me, so I'm hoping to keep seeing that. For Vanir, we saw a solo lane-oriented draft with the Jax really being the focal point. Let's see if we see that again. Fatesky was out-carrying him in that game. So we'll see if they keep doing that. But for me, I'm looking at Bifrost for sure to keep showing their versatility.
For me, I'm looking for Fan. Bifrost are 6th. Vanir up lane for F-all. Please bring in the Fiesta. Please bring in the Fan champions. I hope Fury's on something like an Akali, a Zed, something that he can enjoy himself. This is the last chance to get to show off and show up for Vanir. For now, this is the last time in the regular split. We'll see them again next year. And for Bifrost, just have fun, man. You've locked in your playoffs. There's no way you're going further up other than the 6th. So just enjoy the freaking ride.
Bring the Assassins, Fury. Let's see if you can still play them. Might as well bring the Katarina. Let's jump into Champion Select for the second one of the day. Vanir versus Bifrost. It's going to be here right now for you guys. Merbs is playing, by the way.
Oh, Merbs is back in.
I thought it was Riziki that was going to play, but no. Merbs is actually back in action. Ericsson as well, Karaxter Pool. This is a good team. Let's see what they can pull versus Bifrost that have been unstoppable right now. As soon as they got that shift in mentality, not in players, but in mentality, things have been looking hot.
I mean, the bans will really be showing whether we'll be getting the fun game that Trouble is hoping for, or whether we get more of a straight practice match for Bifrost. I feel like these official games, at least as a coach, I would always see them, even if you have the ability to have fun, you still want to use that practice. Vanir is not a bad team, and they have some strengths that you can play into and test your mettle against. So I would still like to see Bifrost really use that. And look, going off the bans, it's looking like a serious game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I saw the sadness.
It's fine. You know what? Honestly, I agree with that one. Also for Vanir, they've got players that might not return, might return. This is your last chance to show up and show off. Zeri is going to be getting locked in right here, of course. And what do we go for on the other side? There are things such as the Trundle that's still up and available that follows up straight after the Poppy. Things like the Lissandras, the Swains. Ericsson has fallen off of the Ari train a little bit lately as well.
Yeah, we could also see something like the Sivir answer into the Zeri instantly. That's something we've been seeing a lot. Aphelios definitely also a possibility. Very strong champion right now, especially since you have the 3rd pick here. You can pair it with any support. You can also just rotate it right now if you wanted to. So the Renata, Aphelios, very strong.
Playing Aphelios versus OD, so that's a lot of courage to take in. He's a beast with that one. Let's see if Merbs is capable of facing one of the gods of Aphelios. So we have the bot lane for one side. They can lock in the bot lane for Bifrost and even look for the jungler.
I think this could be an insta-lock Trundle right here. The second you see any mobile AD carry down the bot lane, I think you just insta-lock the Trundle right here. Another early game jungler that can actually gank lanes level 3, level 4, like Diamond Prox really likes to do around mid and around bot. Here's your respect token. Thank you very much, Fury. I really appreciate that, man.
One day.
But it's going to be a Trundle and I'm sad. Silas. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, I guess.
Fair enough. I guess that'll do.
Haven't seen the Talia touched yet, which has a very high win rate. Was also very strong on Monday, so that's definitely something I'm looking at here. Or another answer to the Silas. I don't feel like you need to rotate a jungler right now since the opponent hasn't, unless there's something you place a very high priority on, but I can't imagine that.
Oh my god!
We got it! Trouble!
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm about to get unmiked.
Okay, come here. Okay, let's do this. Join me. Don't worry, guys. Okay, for everyone to understand, Katarina is the one trick for Trouble, and there's a promise in the studio. If someone picked the Katarina, she would be able to cast that game. It's the last day, by the way, obviously. We gotta give it to her.
It's a free-flowing environment.
So it's a duo
I like
right now. It's a duo
great.
right now.
That's awesome.
You cannot see the smile of Trouble, but it's above and beyond.
You can see Bifrost completely stunned by this great pick from Vanir here. They have no idea what to ban anymore. They're like, how do we even win this draft anymore? Which is fair. I mean, I don't think there's any counterplay to this. So now you're looking for a strong jungler to set up this Katarina.
I might as well get Jamar in here as everything turns south. You have the chat over there. I don't know if the microphone is working right now for you,
Not sure
man.
if I can be heard or not.
There you go. Join in, Jamara. Well, we got another guest.
So I was a little bit late getting to the caster desk, but it seems like my new position is actually the analyst desk for now. Yeah, Ericsson with the Katarina pick, so naturally it had to happen. Trouble will be taking us through game number 2. Into Silas, though, I guess, for Fury. I wonder how that one's going to pan out.
That seems very scary.
She will.
Very scary. Can I get a yes or no from Trouble whether that matchup is good? That matchup
Yeah,
is
no,
very good. Very good. Very good.
Terrible.
Very good. Okay, we see the Diego as an early game jungler here. I'm a bit afraid of that because the Trundle could come out here. Definitely wins against the Diego early.
No, we saw. Don't worry. We saw when Zeddy on the top slide. That's more than enough for the entire stage.
Yeah, we don't need that
We're
anymore.
gonna take something different. Oh, okay. Diamond with Lee Sin. He told me on the challenge that he loves the Lee Sin, so this could be one. And it's really good to counter jungle as well. Not really.
Never mind. It's actually just the Sejuani pick. There you go.
Yeah.
More CC versus Katarina, yeah.
This could be jungle, this could be top lane.
I also want to add as well, if we end up with another melee jungler, which is pretty high probability, Sejuani, Silas, the team fighting and stacking up those permafrost stacks is going to be pretty potent. It's going to kind of stack up very quickly. And I think into what is a fairly short range composition at the moment still from Vanir, it's mostly, you know, just basically working with a Felios green gun. Yeah, honestly, I could see this being a very, very scary team fight composition for Vanir to work into. We'll see what Vanir want to at least try and round out their composition with.
You also just don't want to play Katarina into this. Like, there are so many stops for this. Like, Lulu in itself is just terrible for Katarina. She does not get to play with the Whimsy. You have the Sejuani Q, the Lee Sin kick, Silas can E, Silas can steal some kind of ulti to CC with the Renata ult, for example. It's just very rough.
I'm going to be honest. Good luck, Ericsson.
Yeah.
I've followed Ericsson for a really long time. I've competed against him as a coach, actually, as well. Like, that's how long Ericsson has been in the scene. But, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, didn't beat him. But what I will say is he's playing Katarina into Lulu Polymorph. I think technically Zeri Ultimate cancels the ult charge.
Channeling, yeah.
Playing into Silas, Lee Sin kick, and Sejuani. Look, I can always respect a Cojones pick, right? But also, I feel like he's just going to get run down by the entire combo.
So without further ado, I don't even want to get some guess on anything from this one. I want to toss it straight over. Initialize in Trouble with the Katarina. Just enjoy.
All right, everybody, I hope you've got your notebooks out. You've sat down in the lecture hall because Professor Trouble is about to give you the download on all things Katarina because she is grinning from ear to ear. Good luck, Ericsson. For multiple reasons here. You're about to have all your plays heavily dissected.
It's funny because we actually had an interview with Flash last week.
Yes.
He actually leaked it. And I messaged Ericsson. I'm like, is it true?
Is it true?
Were you planning to play
happen?
Katarina? And he's like, no way, my coach leaked it. what an intel, you know? And I gave him some tips. I showed him a few Katarina OTPs.
Oh, so you've been secret coaching for the Katarina play. You wanted it that bad?
Listen, man, I was like, if you want platform tips, I'll give them to you. But I obviously, I pushed him over to like a rank 1 EU West Katarina
well done.
OTP. So he can actually learn something.
There you go.
But
All right.
I respect him because the comp he picked it in is freaking unplayable, man.
Okay. The respect is there. The Katarina is locked in. But will this be the flower of victory or a death lotus in the wrong way for the side of Vanir? Time to find
Very
out
well
as we hit the
done.
Rift. Thank you. I didn't think that was that bad either.
Hi. Okay.
But we are onto the Rift, and of course, Vanir, nothing really to play for but a bit of style and a bit of pride, and they've locked it in. Bifrost it's a much more serious comp. They want to come into playoffs looking strong. This is their last showing before they get in there, and they want to get themselves into the kind of form that gets them to the Amazon EU Masters. They've got to do it into Ericsson's Katarina.
Okay.
Go,
Okay,
Treble.
man.
Go.
Listen,
Yes.
he's playing really ballsy here because he could have gone with the flash ignite, which is usually what you go for after teleport was actually nerfed.
Sure.
Because usually it would be you teleport level 3 down bot lane, you get your double kill.
Sure.
This is how you snowball. Right now, due to the teleport changes that you can only teleport to towers, teleport is not your favorite. But usually because Katarina does tend to get camped in the mid lane and she is a very weak champion in laning phase, you take teleport just in case you do get ganked and you do die.
It's a
Only-
diamond, right? Like, who does a lot of those ganks?
Yeah, he's like, this guy's gonna be in my lane level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. One of these times I will die, so at least I'll have the teleport to get back. But all in all, Ericsson was one of the older Katarina players as well when I joined the Nordics back in 2019.
It's a bit of a brutal level 1 trade. Oh boy, he's gonna have Severin, which will help, but nasty trade from Highway and Odie, despite that ward in the second bush there. Go back, you can talk about Katarina now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, this is an atrocious composition to pick it in.
It's tough.
I would expect maybe Ericsson to like R4 or R5 the Katarina because literally everyone and their moms from the sort of Bifrost have something to interrupt the ultimate with. But due to the recent changes to Katarina, there was the passive buff and the Q buff in AP ratios, but also the on-hit effects on her ultimate were buffed together with the attack speed, which is the scaling factor on her ultimate. Ericsson right here has gone for the Conqueror, so I'm wondering if he's gonna go for more of an on-hit build,
Okay.
towards something like Kraken Slayer with Nashor's Tooth, or he's gonna go for Nashor's into Rocket Belt.
The only thing I'll say about going for the on-hit is there's a lot of other AD threats, and it would be
Absolutely.
a little bit scary, especially when you've got, you know, a Sejuani, the Lulu, other things you can build semi-tanky, like, get pretty tricky, I think, if you do that. So while I see the value, I wonder whether it might be a bit scary to do. Should Shumpo forwards there. But surviving so far, though, some ugly trades have been Ericsson's as the kind of early lane goes on, and that's not unexpected with how Katarina is in the early game, and Fury
I've actually
definitely
died
playing
here.
incredibly aggressive. There's an Ignite down, won't quite be able to secure the kill, though.
That's actually pretty winning for Ericsson right here. The fact that you get the Ignite out of dodge, you can go back, TP underneath your tower, and now you do have the advantage of having the Ignite yourself. So you usually will call your jungler mid lane, try to get a flash, try to make a counterplay right here. Usually level 3 and level 4 when you have double Q or double E leveled up. But Kraox is showing up in the top lane. There's not a huge wave to dive if you are Vanir, but there's another one coming in.
I'm just thinking about it, but Desai, he's still hanging around. Of course, the Skull Crab's spawning, so he's not in a huge rush as yet, but with the wave there and level 3's abounding, they're going to try the dive nonetheless. Wait for that face breaker, throwing out the flail. Does get that one, the W shield comes through, but it's going to be a trade back, 1-for-1.
First Blood does go to Set though, and Set was one of these champions in the top lane that used to, no pun intended, but beat up any beefy top laner that would show his way, going towards the likes of Blade of the Ruin King, an item that has been actually buffed in their recent patches as well. So this is going to be a pretty rough top lane matchup for Shikari, especially since he lost his Ignite, now has TP'd. So if you do see Kraox going towards the top side again, Dreampool could get really big. And if we remember on his match on Monday where he played the Jax, he was really beefy on that. He was actually carrying the team forward.
Spinning out a few daggers there as Ericsson with the preparation and the bouncing blade. Doing my very best to remember all the ability names for you.
Don't bother. I don't even remind them myself. I don't even remember them myself, and I play the champion. But
I like the passive names. Veracity, it's a great name. Very voracious character is Katarina. The Sconduck's still around, and of course Kraox Flash gets Furies out, and that now leaves a little bit of a vulnerable Silas potentially in the mid lane. Eyes must be honest, Kraox, 2 very successful ganks so far in this early game.
yeah, one of them got the kill, the teleport, and the Ignite from Shikari, getting that flash off of Fury in the middle as well. That mid lane matchup is atrocious for Katarina due to all the sustain that Silas has, due to the fact that he can pin her in place and dash away from the daggers as well, means that there's no damage output from the side of Katarina, and you've also healed up a bunch of whatever Katarina managed to put onto you, plus the fact that he's running bone plating, a lot of that burst is being negated by the rune.
Both junglers hanging around this top side. Diamond was spotted out by a ward put down on Gromp, so they'll have an idea he's around as Zaremba as well, just hovering around this part of the map as well, going for a bit of an invade, gets that control ward in, and maybe it's just time to dive the Sejuani one more time.
I think it's looking like a dive again. They've pulled up 3 members towards the top side of the map. Look at mid lane. Highway is hovering around mid, but Shikari is all alone. No teleport, no flash.
He's got such little chance here. It's time for some pork for breakfast. Trying to make sure they get their bacon and get on out. It will be a kill in the mid lane as well. Ericsson's on the board. It's a 1-for-1.
Ericsson's on the board, but he's going to be down in a bunch of CS in right there because there's a huge wave that's crashing in. It's a little bit weird that Highway didn't choose to crush that wave that was actually coming, and now he's going to face check Merps.
He's going very deep. Over comes Odin. He's got a Spark Surge and an Ultra Shock Laser will force the heal out of Merps, who now may need to flash to boot. Does do so. Double summons out of the FLs, but Highway wants this. One more Glitterlands would surely do it. Zaremba with the loyalty program and the bailout. But there is nothing to bail out. That business is sunk.
Highway secret agent on a mission to solo kill Merps, and I'm like, I thought he was on an auto walk, he got lost, he was going towards the wrong place of the map. He actually finds Merps and kills him here, and Kraox is looking for a reply. Ericsson is pushing through mid as well. We are looking for this level 6, is level 5 for Ericsson.
Some trades. Zaremba's going to flash for that handshake. Hiram burned his already. Odie over the wall, though. Will make this a 3v3. Highway so low. There's a dagger on the floor, and Ericsson beginning to hunt. The preparation's in. There's Diamond Procs with the Q, but he's taking so much damage. Polymorph. But what about the damage afterwards? Must try and trade this one out. Doing so much work onto Zaremba, who does fall. That will be Furies. Now Merps is respawned. It's back. Don't know who secured that Scuttle Crab, but I believe it might even have been Merps. And it's not. It was, in fact, Diamond.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned level 5 on Ericsson, level 6 on Fury comes in, steals ultimate as well from from Viego, if I'm not wrong, which means a lot of execute damage coming in there. And as we see this again, the 2 versus 2 became a 3 versus 2, and Zaremba flashes forward to pull Highway back since he didn't have flash. But the second Audi joins, and Silas is pushing in, Fury joins as well. Do we have more happening?
Oh, it's happening. Remember, Merps has got a Binding Eclipse, but nowhere to go. Highway. It happens again, and let's be real, Highway's a guy we've had some complaints about. This is the guy who has been back.
He's the carry now.
Oh yeah, 2 kills on the Lulu, playing so well this game. The aggressive moves working out. Mid lane though, Glacial Prison, and Ericsson might have picked the Katarina, but you can Shumpo your way into a grave. No, bringing daggers to an Ice Flail fight.
28 to 53
Oh,
CS.
no.
I'm reliving my solo queue nightmares.
I'm
together
sorry,
with
this is what you
Ericsson.
have to witness.
I mean, okay, I feel like this should have been either an R5 or an R4.
With this reasonable take.
You're right. I'm getting to see my champion. I'll stop complaining right now. Kraox obviously looking. Kraox and Zaremba have been pairing up, actually, and roaming all around the map. I think at this point, they actually need to play towards topside. Dreampool is already 2 kills ahead. Get that set ahead. Use him in these very small choke point places. Use his ultimate, use his power to try and potentially get a Katarina ultimate on the map. I think you need level 6 on your Renata, and you need level 6 on the set if you want to get that wombo combo rolling.
You need to get the garden growing before the Death Lotus blooms, and all other gardening puns regardless.
Ericsson, you filth.
What? Oh, no, this better not be a Sunfire Nash's build.
This is a Sunfire Nash's build.
Oh, no. All right, well, it's been built on a lot of AP champions right now with those on-hit ratios, Diana and the like, so there's some precedence, even if it is making the Katarina main weep here beside me. Herald started up, however, by Vanir, and that will be a sort of significant win for them, as they have been sort of falling behind, really, in multiple places. A lot of CS discrepancies in those kills and skirmishes going Bifrost's way over the last few moments.
I think if there was a place to put it down, I'd say put it down top lane. You need to get Dreampool. Unfortunately for Dreampool, you need to end his laning phase now, because you need him around the map. Merps just about to get dived though, Diamond Proc bot lane.
Sonic Wave lands, waiting for the reactivation. Will he take it? Does have the Dragon's Rage for the kick available. Just going to wait on it. The Polymorph will land the Moonlight Vigil, but it's just not going to matter. Kill for the side of Odie. Wild Growth Force, nothing else. Clean dive from Bifrost.
That was really nicely well done. Really nicely done and well done. For the side
As opposed to medium rare? Like, is that what we...
Very nicely done right here from Bifrost. Merps has been the recipient of violence right here. He is that only one champion that will be scaling really badly into that late game, dealing all the damage, the only hyper carry on the side of Vanir, shutting him down into the early game. You're making sure that Audi on the Zeri gets ahead of the curve. He is also a late game scaling carry. You put him ahead, he's always going to be dealing more damage than the Aphelios.
And Zeri gets her first kill, of course. Highway, rightly so, as the aggressive Lulu has claimed most of the early ones in that bot side, but does get that Zeri on the board, and very important that is too. And it continues to extend Bifrost's lead in this game up about 3,000 or so. Of course, there is the Herald inventory for Kraox, maybe turn some things around. And the power of a Katarina turnaround in mid-game is not to be underestimated, but right now, Bifrost firmly in command of the game.
Absolutely, and look at the gold lead as well. It's almost 3,000 gold for the sort of Bifrost. Zeri almost has the first item on the board.
I'm sorry. Look at the mid lane gold. Did you see that? It was a bit sad.
You know what? Observers, there was a reason I didn't look, okay? Thank you. I don't need to see this
My
again.
fault. I asked her to look again. She deliberately tried to avoid it. It was my fault. Bot side, there's a dive coming, though. And I don't think Bifrost are looking to show any mercy. There's a teleport coming through that I don't know from who. Berserk with the hostile takeover, though. Keeps members alive. Ericsson looking to see where there's an angle, but in goes Fury. Merbs and Zaremba so damn low that they can't really turn back to fight. They'll stave off the dive, but not get any kills. Kraox in mid lane, though. Ultra Shock Laser deletes the AD carry.
Snap, baby! Odeon True Xenophon Diamond Prox goes back around, round 2.
Trying to make this one happen again. There is no hostile takeover. This time, polymorphed out of the death float is quickly snipped and thrown into a vase. They'll keep that one as a trophy. At least there is one kill back.
You can't play Katarina, man, in this composition. It's so sad. Kraox is gonna find Shikari towards the top side of the map, but Fury is there as well. He does have the catapult.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's a stolen Death Blossom once again. It's going to be stopped out by a showstopper, though. And Dreampool trying to trade this one out with the Haymaker. But Fury potentially wins this one regardless. When his one out, look how low Kraox is. But if he lands a stun, he can turn it around. But what about these? Shazwani, doesn't matter. That is a shutdown. Now Shikari must run for the hills, gets pulled back. But now must dash away with the Arctic Assault. There's still a wave. There's still a way to play this one out. He'll have the Haymaker and a double to Dreampool. Vanir needed that 4-on-1 now, the set potential win condition.
Dreampool is freaking huge. We said they needed to play towards the top side of the map, get that set unlocked, get him towards mid lane, get him towards bot lane, try to catch people off guard. Blade of the Ruin King already completed on him. All turret platings under his name as well. Dreampool needs to carry that early game for Vanir. They need to be making picks, they need to be moving the set around. Once again, we're gonna see this Zaremba level 5, but look at Merbs. He's trying to clear the wave really quickly, and Zaremba just about hits level 6, which kind of slows down the dive, honestly, throwing out that ultimate out there. Ericsson joins as well, which means that there's one more member from Vanir towards the bot side of the map. So Bifrost call out the dive until this happens. Audi managed to snipe Merbs through the tower with an empowered W, and then the dive comes through. Ericsson dives in. The second you press R, you get insta-polymorph, and the Ignite is only gonna get that kill onto the Lulu.
Still, it was a good play on the top side to maybe recover some, even if your mid and bot lane are having an unfortunate game, shall we say. It's been a challenge to be an Aphelios and a Katarina thus far, and see how it continues to play out. Of course, it's been a scrappy game. 17 kills in 13 minutes is a bloodbath if I've ever seen one. Kraox, though, maybe looking to try and continue to make these plays around his top laner work.
Yeah, and the gold is getting closer and closer, but remember, all the gold is in Dreampool's pocket from the side of Vanir. If he's not around, Vanir should not necessarily be taking any fights, and you'll see this time Kraox is shadowing towards the side of Dreampool, very close to that second item for the Vanir top laner.
Diamond's gonna find Kraox as he tries to find an angle in, still thinking about a Spectral more, but they're gonna be forced away. A 3v3 not on the cards quite yet.
Oh, but look at Shikari again. Every single time his wave is pushed towards the opposite tower, he respects the fact that he doesn't have a tower for himself, leaves top lane, instantly roams towards mid, sees if anyone oversteps, might catch somebody with the ult, might get another kill. Really good stuff right there by Shikari, actually, who has been pretty underwhelming, I'll say, in this particular split, but knowing where the mistakes were, knowing not to overextend is so important, especially going into playoffs.
Yeah, and it's been an up and down game, this one for him. He's seen some really good plays and some ones where you go, oh, that's a bit unfortunate. And part of that is just lots of attention going his way. It's always difficult to play that one out. But even so, he's going to be a critical part of this composition as it gets later. Lots of CC to lock down the likes of that Katarina, who, as you said, not the easiest game to play, Kat.
I think the only way you can play Katarina in this particular game is if you dunk Sejuani in the backline with Dreampool and then you Renata ult. It has to be the complete wombo combo when people will be CC'd for at least a while for you to get 1 or 2 stacks of Death Lotus off. And then you just instantly jump out and hope that Aphelios can finish someone off, right? Because from the side of Bifrost, they're not the squishiest. Look at the tops of the map. Sylas, Lee Sin, Sejuani, pretty tanky champions. And even if they weren't, there's shields, there's knockups, there's utility coming in from
yeah, all the
Lulu,
rest of it. Yeah. Very difficult to play, as we said. The second Herald, though, likely to be secured by Vanir. And I'll take this opportunity, I think, to bring up a couple of tweets I've been told to do in order.
Thought you were gonna bring up gold again.
Hashtag Pippin feel real tired having to wait since Wednesday for some NLC Div 1 action. Very cute.
Feel you, Pippin.
Oh, on the other hand, Duratan is just really happy it's NLC Day, sleeping for most of the weekend in anticipation. Lovely pair of doggos indeed.
Oh, that is actually a very cute doggo. The other one as well.
Great in-action shots. All the while, though, Bifrost secured themselves a mid-lane turret. And very happily so, all the while. Dreampool off to the side, trying to get that wave shoved in, but Bifrost with a bit of a win there. And 50 seconds and so until a second Drake spawns, and I wonder whether that might be their next choice of conquest.
Very important. Dreampool just completed his gold drinker, and that second dragon is coming up very shortly, only 40 seconds. Shikari pushing that top lane, has TP. Dreampool heading towards the top lane, also has TP. It's going to be so crucial how Dreampool is going to pivot and pilot these team fights for his team.
Cryox finds them all, gonna stun 2, but they're gonna try and get out. Highway has to burn the wild growth, though, and stops the back. That's a critical time backstop.
Absolutely, you do not get enough control wards. There's none in the inventory of Highway. He needs to take this back, and Vanir gonna take this opportunity, put that Rift Herald mid, open up that mid lane tower, and then possibly head towards the bot side of the map where the dragon just spawns.
Yes, Bifrost ahead in this game, but plays like this, moments like this, give you some hope for the side of Vanir. That top jungle in particular had been finding angles into the game. Dragon has spawned, though, and Vanir are the first ones in. Teleporting in deep, though, is Dreampool.
He's gonna be all alone, but remember, he's the beefiest member of Vanir. Can Ericsson pull off the ultimate? Can he spin at least once?
Got to battle the bans, a showstopper on both sides. Hostile takeover comes through, Zaremba taken very low. Showstopper 1 used, Showstopper 2 used. Dreampool into the backside, does die, but now the turnarounds can come through as the resets begin. Ericsson still doing well, but on the other side, Odie and Fury trading out best they can. Ericsson with a bailout on, doing what he can. Merbs has got Chakram spinning, and Fury so low, nowhere to go. And Bifrost have actually lost this fight right now. Highway has respawned. He's on the other side trying to trade this one out. Must find an angle. Ericsson to the backside, shut down with an onslaught from the Aphelios.
And Dreampool, what a fantastic team fight from the Vanir top laner. Again, he is all the gold from Vanir. If he doesn't perform, the team fight is not won for them. So look what he does. Remember gets called by the Sejuani ult, throws out the ultimate instant, and Dreampool, the second he sees Sylas, he slam dunks him straight back into his team, together with the Moonlight Vigil Infernum coming in from Merbs. So much AoE damage. All of the utility, all of the stuns, all of the peeling had to be used on that set, which means Ericsson got to spin in that team fight for free and get all the damage down. Not even an Ashes Tooth. That's a Katarina with only 1 tank item available on her. The second Ashes Tooth actually gets completed, you get to do so much more burst. Remember, a reminder, Ashes Tooth is an on-hit item. It applies on her ultimate stacks.
It was a nice idea, but I wonder whether bringing a set back into your backline with Facebreaker and Haymaker available might have been a touch of a mistake there. Nice that it didn't work out for sure this time for Bifrost, and Katarina got free time, something we thought was going to be very difficult. I'm watching Trouble get more and more excited. Maybe there's an angle here. Maybe Vanir can cause a last upset to follow up on M&M taking down JDX on that first game of the day.
Well, Ericsson has to be very careful here because he's heading towards the top lane tower, but he knows that quadrant does not belong to his team anymore, so he needs to respect the fact that he could be getting dived. He's going to back off instantly. Again, allowing time for Dreampool to actually get something on the side lane also allows time for Ericsson to catch up on CS, Merbs more importantly to catch up on CS, because this Aphelios is going to be the game breaker towards that late game, being been able to get these huge Moonlight Vigils like he did in the previous team fight, especially when he has a bunch of items in his inventory, is going to be really important for Vanir.
Diamond on a flank here, looking to see whether he can find an angle onto a
They saw him.
flash. Merv, they know he's there now. Dreampool will now continue to hunt. He's having to ward hop over the wall, and the hunt is on, but Fury is here to wall people off.
It's a
Eric's
2v5.
on the other side. Wait, but the angle comes in, does get onto Mervs, but where's the kick? Showstoppered away. Well played by Dreampool. Wild Growth and the W out. Moonlight Vigil hits. Not as much damage as they might like. Over the wall goes Cryox, and maybe the turnaround can come through as Fury has stolen away. Goes in with the Abscond of Duck, but the Death Load is afterwards. Doing so much work. Ericsson not going to find the jump he needed, but what about the turnaround? Ericsson gets it. He's on a killing spree. I repeat, this Katarina with the veracity can hunt for more. Who cares if you bring a dagger to a gunfight when you can stab people in the back like this? Cryox gets the lines going forwards as Dreampool can't quite secure the kill onto the Sejuani with the Haymaker, but with your mid and bot lane are dead, Baron's not is up, and maybe they're just thinking, maybe, just maybe, there's an angle here.
Dreampool has been playing these team fights flawlessly. Look at Mervs actually walking in. Dreampool has already taken Diamond Procs out, and the second Fury overextends. Renata ult comes down, Katarina ult comes down, Dreampool sitting in the front line, Cryox going in as well onto that Viego, getting the reset, and having double reset champions on your team must be the filthiest combo. You kill one member, you can perma-chase the entire fight, and have you used all your utility and shielding, then there's no one stopping the Viego and Katarina from rolling you over.
It was supposed to be an impossible game for Katarina. It was supposed to be.
You know what? I'm just gonna reach out to Ericsson after this and be like, teach me, senpai.
How do you do this? How do you play into all this CC? Maybe the angle is have a really fed
Maybe
set
he
to take
will
all the
tell me-
CC for you.
You know what he might tell me? Jungle diff.
True enough, Cryox has played very well. Honestly, like, both junglers made some really good plays early. Tower dives on both sides. The difference is right now that OD on this Zeri, not quite truly online at 3 items yet. That set has been online for a while, and Dreampool is feeling like a complete thorn, or in this case, a massive fist in Bifrost's face.
Yeah, look at inventories. That is gonna have to be a Gnasher's Tooth the second Ericsson hits that
waiting.
fountain.
Not quite there. He's had to leave.
Oh, it was just a blasting one. The second it's a Gnasher's Tooth, that's a huge, huge spike for Katarina. The biggest item spike that she can have after Gunblade got removed from the game. Also, look at the Hydra that's about to be built onto Dreampool.
More
Very,
AoE,
very close.
more healing, more ways to survive and take as much of this CC as possible to give Ericsson the space they need. Cryox throws down the Harrowed Pass. Shikari is here with Diamond and Highway in the bush into River. 1 second on a Mountain Drake spawning. Teleport from Dreampool to get to the fight.
Yeah, really good call right there. You need Dreampool to face check for you because she's the only one that's not going to go down if he face checks a bunch of damage. So really good stuff right there from the top lane. TPing in. They
Glacial
got Renata
Prison
again.
lands onto Zarema, but another hostile takeover. Dreampool into the backside, and the Aphelios Moonlight Vigil lands. Deleted is the Zeri, and once again, Vanir begin to reset. Watch for the Shompos, watch for the plays. This is Katarina, you can see her, but you can't kill her. Shikari runs for the hill as Diamond tries to trade out. Highway coming over, but there's just no way to play it. A flash for a Binding Eclipse, kills off the Lee Sin. Highway gets hit by the Sonic Wave, and he is taken out.
Vanir and on a roll. Cryox with fantastic reset play onto the Viego. Dreampool leading the charge on every single fight. Vanir are ahead of the play. And blimey, Katarina might get a showing and a win here.
I am so excited to witness this. The joy is absolutely palpable for Trouble, and Vanir might be pulling off the back-to-back upset today. M&M take down JDXL in an absolute shellacking. Vanir are turning around a game and bringing this one to a very commanding position. Now with another dragon, now with the Baron to their name. And I just witnessed a 10-stack Dark Seal alongside an Ash Tooth. Let's look at this fight one more time, because after that pick, I wondered.
So Shikari finds Renata again, but they just can't kill her when the ultimate goes down. And again, Dreampool in the front line keeps soaking so much damage. Moonlight Vigil again with Infernum gets people low enough, one of your two reset champions is going to get a kill. Whether it's Kraox onto the Viego or Ericsson on the Katarina, all you need is one squishy member to go down, and then you're gonna start getting rolling. And Kraox has been playing fantastically on any champion he's picked up. Vanir now need to be very careful. They need to use Dreampool's body to actually face check and push forward these waves.
And that is 2 dragon fights in a row where Zaremba has buffered a hostile takeover through the CC of the Glacial Frisson. The kick is forced out by Diamond, and it's congestion for this jungle vision. And Waves being slowly escorted in the mid lane. They don't want to give up a flank opportunity here.
It's very difficult to siege with this team comp because also Dreampool is melee. The only ranged champion that you have on your team if you're Vanir is Aphelios. Aphelios oversteps without flash, without Gale Force, he goes down instantly. So unless you have Kraox and...
Oh, big hook! Kraox has to go golden. He's still going to have a flash and a Heartbreaker. Can he get far enough away? Buffers out of one. Dreampool now on the flank. The hostile takeover was stolen. There's Mervs that goes berserk. That's dangerous indeed, but he's been polymorphed. He's been polymorphed. He's taken out. Now what about the turnaround? Diamond is looking for a flank. Mervs has got Jackrams, but non-shrunk laser slows him down. He's trying to onslaught his way to safety. Dodges the abscond duck, but now the turnaround hostile takeover. Means Shikari is dead. It's been a rough game indeed for this Sejuani. But the bailout is Oni lands the burst fire, and free firing Bifrost win this one. Nowhere to run for Kraox, even with a Heartbreaker.
Really good catch right there from the side of Bifrost. Shikari, the sniper, finds the mark onto Kraox, and we mentioned Vanir have to play, unfortunately, as a 5-man unit. Their gold, their beefy member, the frontliner is Dreampool. If Dreampool gets caught, if Dreampool dies, they cannot execute the wombo combo of set ult into Renata ult, into Cat ult, into a bunch of resets for Viego and Katarina. And Bifrost find that one fight that will bring them even into this game, and more importantly, stop the tempo and the push from Vanir, because Vanir right here had Baron. Once again, Shikari, so well played right there, dashes through, throws the ultimate out, and Kraox does survive this, but Dreampool gets caught up in the process. He doesn't have a flash, he gets polymorph very crucially right before the shield comes up, so he does end up surviving, and once Dreampool is down, it's literally so difficult to play the game from the side of Vanir. Yes, you get one kill here onto Ericsson, but no one else is going to be stepping on any daggers. And it's really difficult because they get pinched from every angle.
They do, and Bifrost back in the game, and it was always supposed to be a difficult game for Vanir to play. They played it well. They've managed to get the lead.
One.
And Highway with
another
a beautiful. What a guy. So this guy on Lulu, seriously, has been performing so damn well. Like, especially because, like, to bring this to Highway, actually, this is a very rookie player coming in to fill some massive shoes in duel, right? And it's been a mixed split. We've seen some really high highs, but some unfortunate mid-game positioning that cost Bifrost in some games. This time around on the Lulu, he's looked so proactive, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I think playing the Lulu all the times you fall into the habits of just following and shielding and pressing W, but the fact that he's been actively chasing kills and chasing Vanir members successfully off the Rift is very important. Now, yet again, another Dragon's going to be spawning in 20 seconds. Vanir need to use Dreampool in the front line to enter through that river.
Rally's popped, Diamond on the side. That is a good Glacial Prison. It's going to stop some of the engaged. Dreampool does get in, though, and Shikari's rooted up. Big kick through 4, though. Shikari about to get knocked down. Does so. Polymorph, though, onto Ericsson, who now has to go golden. Kraox stepping forward with the stolen soul of Sejuani, but Bifrost still with the health bar advantage. Moonlight Vigil from the side of Merv, doing what he can. Resurrecting is Kraox, and Dreampool chunked out, must find a way around. Starting wave lands onto Zaremba, but Diamond will not take the angle. Odie still free firing, so deadly, so untouched, so unstoppable. Another for the AD carry, and Odie finds another with the Ultra Shock laser from the heavens. Rename him to Zeus, because he is the god of thunder.
Triple kill, and he might get yet another one. Kraox has to run.
He's got to try. He's got to find a way out. He's still desperately dashing away. Another Ultra Shock laser. Another bolt from the heavens. And Odie gets his 4th of the fight.
Unofficial quadra kill right there from Odie, and you said, you know what? This Eric has not necessarily come online. Well, now she has 3 items in her inventory. Quadra kill in this fight as well. It's going to be a very, very scary hyper carry roam in the Rift. And yet again, you see that Vanir are using Dreampool, but Dreampool is a little bit overextended from his team. Doesn't necessarily sync up very well with the Renata ultimate. And my only criticism right here is, yes, you get the kill, but look at the Katarina. Ericsson has TP right here. You press your B button, you come back into the fight, full health. Right now he's roaming at the back. Does not give anything to his team. If anything, Vanir are trying to play this fight with very low HP bars, and Zeri loves low HP targets, chasing them down, getting these quadra kills. Really well played right there from Bifrost, understand that they have the advantage in HP bars and chasing them down.
And you can see a little bit of a learning curve was required against this comp. They weren't exactly expecting how some of these fights were playing, but a bit more respect for the hostile takeover, a bit more respect for the showstopper combos, and suddenly Bifrost are winning out on these fights. I suspect if you check Odie's inventory as well, yeah, there's an Infinity Edge, and now a Bloodthirst to boot. They're still finding something on the top side. Fury flashes out. That might now be an angle. They're going to try and turn around, but he's stolen a Death Lotus. I don't know whether you want to fight against that Gardener, because that rose has thorns. So I managed to correct my phrasing. Still, Baron is alive. Bifrost haven't secured it, and Vanir not out of this game quite yet.
Bifrost have not used a single ultimate right here. They have everything. Merbs might be Merbs. This is not your jungle to walk into, mate. So he's gonna opt to walk actually out and go back into that mid lane tower. You'll see the entirety of Vanir can actually not step into this jungle, but the only problem is Baron Nashor is up and available. One fight is what will differentiate who wins and who loses this game. A fight that Ericsson has yet to got his ultimate up and available. Kraox is searching around, finds 4 members of Bifrost hitting the Baron. Fury's not there yet.
Watch for Zaremba and Merbs. They might be about to face check. Zaremba just been spotted out. What about Diamond over the wall? He goes. Ultra Shock Laser! The handshake is just not enough. Odie is godlike.
That is a problem. There's your wombo combo gone. Bifrost could very easily go towards that Baron and fake it, turn around, try to fight Vanir, now that they do not have that Renata ultimate for defensive as a defensive mechanism. And Fury is going to play bodyguard right here. Vanir really want to take this fight.
Go flash for Krugs, but there is a heartbreaking. Find a way into the pit, but it's already down to 3,500 HP. They must try. Fury pulls the Death Lotus, but has to stop it immediately. Turn around though with the Abscond Abduct. Stopper to the backline. Dreampool must find the combo. Ericsson knocked out of the Death Lotus though. He's plucked from the ground. Zeri still untouched. Of course she is. There ain't no way you're stopping the girl from Zorn. A quadra kill to Odie from Bifrost.
Here's the true carry of Bifrost coming forward again. Odie with not an official this time. Quadra kill onto this Zeri. And this guy has been solidifying himself as the top AD carry in our league for 2 seasons now. Another exceptional performance, and Bifrost in team fights still seem stellar.
15, 2, and 7 on the Zeri. Yes, there have been some moments in the game from Vanir. Yes, we have been excited by the Katarina, but my God, Odie, how good are you? They're going to shove on to try and end. Zaremba dies one more. An ace, of course, it goes to Odie. He has done nothing but succeed this game. Bifrost moved to 10 and 8, and whoever is fighting them in playoffs must be wary. Watch that AD carry or lose at your peril.
16, 2, and 7. This guy needs a back massage after this, because Bifrost were falling apart on the map. They were falling victims to the double reset factor that Vanir brought into the game. A bow to Ericsson for making a gal happy. It was really good stuff. I actually thought they could pull this off. It was a couple of mistakes, but Bifrost are not a team that you can make small mistakes towards and them not punishing them. So small mistakes were made. Bifrost managed to pull off back-to-back team fights and crawl back into the game.
Indeed, and a valiant effort on the Katarina from Ericsson aside. And of course, Dreampool set. Hot damn, that was good. Just wasn't enough to close out the win. And Bifrost end their season, or at least in the regular season, with a win. We'll throw it to the desk from here to break down the game.
Thank you so much. And so far, the only one-trick pony that got a win was Pantheon. So I would say, yeah.
You know, I'm kind of sad because there's a third OTP. There's a third OTP on this broadcast. Well, there's like 5, but like, but in terms of like the vocal ones, you know, Kane's a pretty good champ in this match.
Oh, you're making a call now. This is late into the split. Nah, you don't get it.
It's not going to happen. I think a lot of the games still have too much sway for it.
You also got a lot of Kanes on Division 2, so you're good to go, okay?
I've been treated in Division 2. Maybe not so much here.
They treat us really well on Division 2, the players. They do. Okay, now, Vanir versus Bifrost. And it seemed like that composition with a lot of CC was more than enough to deal with the Katarina, but out of sudden, it wasn't enough, was it?
No, I mean, the thing is, once everyone from Vanir is jumping in, those tools are not enough. Like Karina by itself, they can deal with her, but then there's a Viego on top, there's the Set, there's the Aphelios attacking in the backline. They have a lot to deal with, and they didn't quite have the damage to really turn back around when they get dove on by 4 people. But then you see Zeri actually start to hit those 3 or 4 items.
Yeah.
Then she's actually able to help herself when she gets dove on. She actually obliterates them in a couple of seconds.
But this is from Vanir. This is the moment where the wombo combo goes online.
This is in the mid game where we see those double reset champions take off. I really like the build that we saw from the Katarina, by the way, with the Sunfire. That was actually really strong because it meant this team comp from Bifrost could not kill her fast enough, even when she was CC'd, which means they just got to get those resets. Once they started rolling, there was no stopping them.
Yeah, I think that's the core thing, though, right? For Vanir, they had to get the first takedown. They had to actually get the Katarina snowballing in the team fights. They had to also get the Viego snowballing in the team fights. And if that's not happening, then unfortunately the team fights don't always look as positive as what we just saw on the screen right there. To me, yeah, I think the unfortunate reality was they had a Katarina into 5 champions that could interrupt the ultimate. So yeah, it was just a little bit too tough for Ericsson to play out. I will say, obviously, Vanir gave Bifrost a pretty big run for their money. But in the end, what can I say? There's a reason why Zeri is pickle banned still on this patch. And this was maybe a case study game.
There's one of the fights that we need to highlight where Odie was kind of a beast mode and nobody could stop him. I think we have a replay coming in from that one.
We have it coming up here. What we see is, like, in the initial fight, Vanir actually looks pretty strong. They managed to take out Sejuani pretty fast in the fight here, I think. But then you just see there's no more tools of getting on top of Odie, and even when they do, with the Bloodthirster and the lifesteal that he had at this point, there is no going back. He has the ultimate popping off with more and more speed, more and more attacks. There's just no getting on top of him anymore. Like Katarina with Sunfire getting on top of him will chunk him for like 30%. It won't matter. You can just see they know they can't turn back around because he will just kill them.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the big problems with Vanir. Like, once they're in with their comp, they're kind of in. You know, running away is a bit of a problem. And unfortunately, Odie had the speed ups from the Lulu. Naturally as well, Zeri is just a very fast champion. Just able to get the full rundown, and it's a very extended long replay. But I think, as Sam kind of highlighted on the way out of that cast, right? Odie is still Odie. This is like Odie that went to EU Masters last year, you know, with a Go Rogue and looked really threatening, not a Go Rogue, PDW rather, and looked really, really threatening. And, you know, did the exact same thing in spring and is looking still very clearly to do the exact same thing for a 3rd time in a row in summer.
They did face some issues coming into the middle of the split, but out of a sudden mentality got resetted, and it seems like this is a team to fear walking into playoffs. Let's talk with Michel, from CEO from Bifrost. Oh, hello, welcome back to the interviews. It's good to see your content and now talking with you as well. Another victory, you're well set going into playoffs. What is the feeling?
I mean, it's mixed feelings, I would say. Having the roster that we have, I think 6th place in regular split is not what we were looking for. I think we were looking for higher. But now going into playoffs, I feel very confident, to be honest. I think we are for sure a team that could do damage at European Masters. And I think we can beat everyone in the league right now. We had some issues throughout the split, but I think right now we are reaching our final form. And I mean, let's see what next week of practice will bring. And then, yeah.
Looking into the playoffs, what is the feeling right now that is overwhelming Bifrost? How are you feeling looking into the top 5 teams? Where do you see yourself end?
I mean, I'm seeing ourselves ending on a European Master spot, of course.
Okay.
I think X7 at the moment is, in my opinion, the strongest team in the league. Also, from everything I've heard and all of this, I think they're the strongest, then maybe Dusty, then us, and then Riddle, Excel, and Astralis. Don't really have a judgment on them. But yeah, I think we can play top 3 for sure, and I think we will end there at the end of the season.
Seems like a good and valid approach going into these playoffs. Last question for you. This is a little bit harder. What is the longest CC? It is Kalista and Amumu or Lissandra and Pantheon? What do you think?
It's Kalista and Amumu.
It is. You know that one. If you guys don't see his content on Bifrost, you guys are missing out. I love that one. Thank you so much for the interview, and a pleasure to meet you. And best of luck going into playoffs. You guys are doing good. Thank you so much. Have a nice one.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. How was it?
really good.
Katarina lost.
Honestly, it's fine though. Like
It's fine.
The fact that you can even press your buttons versus what was it? Sejuani, Lulu, Zeri, Silas, Lisi. Like, what, mate? I would be 0-7 in laning phase. Are you kidding me?
There's a good position where you start the game, you're like, well, I don't need this key. You take the other way, like, okay, I'm playing with only 3 buttons.
No, it's more like, I don't need this game. You put away both your keyboard and your mouse.
But also, Bifrost are looking spicy going into playoffs. You heard from him. It was like, they're comfortable, even though this is not the place that they wanted, and obviously that they looked for coming in from UMass or Spring Split to Summer Split. It's still a place that gives them some leverage going into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree with him in terms of them looking good for an EU Masters spot here. Like, you have JDXL falling down. They're really looking good, actually. Like, their versatility is super strong. I don't doubt what he's saying at all. Like, with X7, and then you have Dusty, I feel like that 3rd spot right now is looking like it belongs to Bifrost.
Now we need to talk with someone that allowed us to live these moments. We got the Pantheon on Spring Split. You got the Katarina on the Summer Split.
True.
Oh, almost. He was almost ready. He was ready, but then he was not ready. It is Warchief Carlito. I'll send it to the interview as soon as we can, because so far this is the team that has been providing us casters with our one-trick ponies, and the players as well, bringing these champions. We got the quick step on the Spring Split.
True.
May also be blessed. And there you go. Warchief Carlito is ready for us to talk with us. Hello. Oh, I want to snuggle. I want to snuggle.
I had to bring him. I promised someone in chat that I'd bring him for interview, so here he is.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You lost me. I was not ready for this. Oh, okay. Welcome to the
literally
interview.
Doge from the meme.
It is. It's Doge.
It actually is.
So you're pleasing the casters, you're pleasing the entire community coming in with the dojo. How you feel, even though you didn't end on the seats that you wanted, obviously for Vanir, it was still a run, and you showed today, even with the Katarina and all that this is a team to be feared, and it was by this much you guys could have gotten into playoffs, no?
Yeah, we were really close. Overall, I'm happy with how the season went for us. We had some issues in preseason that, yeah, Flash has mentioned it before, but it was kind of unlucky, but we got a really good roster together, I feel. And we had a close performance, a few close games, and next time we just have to do better, I guess.
Oh, it's really hard to focus. I want to just snuggle and boop. Okay. Oh, look at that face. I'm melting. Yeah, you guys know I'm a dog person. Vanir now, looking into 2023, what can we expect from you guys now?
Honestly, I think we're just going to keep on bringing you guys good content, good banger games. Like, that's a staple for Vanir. Like, there's no boring Vanir games. It's always the most explosive and fun games in the league. I'm just going to trademark that. Vanir has the coolest games in NLC.
Hey, I take it. I dig it.
I just want to say that I respect the fact that I reached out to Ericsson and I was like, your coach leaked that you want to play Katarina. Is that true? He's like, oh no, he actually leaked that. It was supposed to be a secret. And it was like, they were pretty salty because you guys were pretty salty because you had to pick like Seraphine and Lily, and obviously Katarina doesn't fit with these two champions as well. So it wasn't possible to be played. So I just want to say thank you from Trouble to Vanir for making my dream come true so I can cast for once my Katarina game.
No worries. I tried to puppeteer Ericsson a bit to like be interested in playing him, because I started by messaging him like, hey, do you by any chance know how to play Katarina? And he's just like, I played her a lot in Season 5 and Season 6, and
Ericsson
then
was one
we're
of the
here.
biggest Katarina players we had in the Nordics.
Yeah, I know. So I kind of teased it out of him, and then I think we got him hooked on the interest or on the feeling for it, and then he just went for it today.
You just wait until he turns back to an OTP now.
Oh, let's see if it happens. Carlito, thank you so much for this interview. It's always a pleasure to talk with you guys. Thank you for providing us with this opportunity to watch our champions be played inside of the Rift. And more than that, thank you for the Doge. I'm just really happy. I'm just really happy. So best of snuggles for him and best of luck for you guys. See ya.
Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Doggo. I was melting looking into that one. I need to pet him one day. So Vanir bringing the content and bringing the excitement and smiles as well. We can say this from this team. And it's good to end up on a high note. For
Even when they lose, they always go down fighting.
Yeah. I mean, they lost versus Bifrost, and that was way too close. For the Katarina playing versus so much EC, if they took away a few of those mistakes of misplaces of 1v4 or 1v5 in the jungle, I would say, maybe that would be a win.
Yeah, I think it was very close to being a win. If they kept wombo combo in the way they did in a lot of fights in a row, I think it could have worked. Obviously, I think Kratos was playing out of his freaking mind as well onto the Viego. So props to them, honestly. And bringing Dreampool halfway through the split, and now he starts pulling like monster performances right as the split is ending. It's good for him and his image going forward into the ARLs.
Now let's look into the standings as my heart has melted on this interview. Where are we? Bifrost 10 and 8. They are confirmed right now as Vanir is 5 and 13. Now look into the top, and this is the question. Riddle 12.5. JDXL 12 and 6. Riddle is going to fight off versus Nuriki right now. In terms for standings, for Nuriki, they don't mean anything. For Riddle though, trouble.
They mean the world right here. If Riddle wins, they are guaranteed second place.